Hey, all my fantasy football friends. Welcome to the Multiple First Dynasty Football channel here on YouTube. This is Tony Stoshx on the Sleeper app coming at you with the check-in video to our MFDF League live draft that we started this week here. As always, I'm joined by my friend, co-host Greg, the Philosiraptor. How are you, sir?
Oh, Tony, I am ready for some football.
Yeah, it's great. The Browns just played, man. They did the Hall of Fame game. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Get him. Put him on your taxi squad. Let's go, baby.
It is officially the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have been starting up our Multiple First Dynasty Football League of Record, and we're going to talk about the first 4 rounds for change in a minute. But before we do that, let's hit up some actual NFL news and remind our listeners that it is time to get yourself checked back in and start doing your transactions, hitting your waiver wire, monitoring these changing fluid situations. You've already mentioned Hall of Fame game. We had some winners, Dorian Thompson-Robinson being one of them.
Tim Patrick tore his ACL. Put him in your IR. Pick up a player. It's just do that stuff.
Guys are
Jonathan
going on
Taylor's
pup.
on the pup. Yeah, pick up Deion Jackson if something weird happens. Zamir White
Got
needs to
him
be
in
roster. Track all of it, baby.
So, all right, let's talk through some of this running back news. The big one right now is Jonathan Taylor, JT. Jonathan Taylor has been in a feud with the Indianapolis Colts and their owner, Jim Irsay. He wants a new contract. He's going into the last year of his rookie contract. He's slated to make $4 million and change. He's watching guys with better pedigrees than him not get the franchise tag instead of a long-term deal, and he's asking for a long-term deal, not getting it, and he's away from camp with an injury. There were threats to put him on the NFI list. You mentioned he's on the PUP list now. The difference, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds, but it's whether they have to pay him or not.
Yep.
One would be sort of a declaration of war. The other is sort of normal gamesmanship. But it could get ugly this year. And also it's setting up to be very ugly next year when they put the franchise tag on him.
Yeah, they will.
Probably don't offer him a deal. And then we've got to there's the one question is, how do you value the rest of that backfield? Oh, while we're at it, Zach Moss broke his arm.
Yeah, that was awful in a jet ski accident or something. That's insane. Yeah, we feel bad for the guy. I hope he heals up. That's terrible.
And you saw they signed Kenyon Drake today.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we're seeing these running back situations develop, like with Jacobs, with JT, and you want to think the next man up on the roster is like a player to own, but you have all these lurking free agents, these Dalvin Cooks and Fournettes and Zekes and Kareem Hunts, and it's just like anybody you think who's gonna all of a sudden be the master of a backfield is probably gonna get usurped by one of these free agents. I could totally see the Raiders and Jacobs not if he decides to hold out or not sign his tender, they just signed Zeke or something for half of what a tender's salary is worth, whatever a rookie contract would be worth, and the player probably takes it, Kareem Hunt might. It's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned Josh Jacobs. Well, anyway, rounding out the Colts situation, obviously if you have Evan Hull, he should be rostered everywhere already. But if Deion Jackson isn't rostered in your leagues, that could be some starts at the beginning of the season, potentially. So go ahead and get that. And by the way, if you can grab these guys, remember, you can trade these guys, right? If you can parlay Deion Jackson off of waivers into a 3rd-round pick or something.
Yeah, I've done that kind of stuff before. It's
absolutely.
You swap for a receiver with way more upside. Yeah.
Right. Especially, to the JT owner, whatever. You mentioned Jacobs. So the Raiders are the other big situation. Obviously, Saquon came back and signed his franchise tag, or they signed a 1-year deal in lieu of the franchise tag. And Jacobs is out there in contract limbo. How do you see this playing out, Tony?
It's certainly a weird situation. I was researching the situation, and it sounds like they Raiders did not come to the table like in the offseason at all here, and they gave him a contract really late, and then it was like below market for his production, like underneath like an average of what the franchise tag would be, and he didn't accept it. He didn't. They didn't give him very long to do it, and they haven't been in negotiations at all. Like there wasn't, and that deal wasn't even negotiated. The Raiders just made one offer. There's been no conversation with the agent and the team, and there's just I don't know. I don't know what you make of it. Like it's a lot of money. You think the guy's going to sign it? He may not. We've seen people not, and it's crazy. I don't know. Is Zamir White? Is he more valuable now? Is he even the guy to own if Jacobs were to hold out? I mean, who knows? I like White. I have him rostered in a few places, and I feel like they would sign someone. But yeah, White would be the guy to own.
So one of my hobby horses that I like to get on and ride around every once in a while is the fact that the incentives in place are not always in the best interest of the team, right? Like I feel like there's a very strong incentive by Josh McDaniels to get Jacobs into camp somehow, because like he's gonna get fired, man.
Yeah, if they do bad, they're going to struggle without him because it's not going to be Garoppolo making plays, and there's no Darren Waller there anymore, and the defense is bad.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, if you were playing like you had the Raiders on franchise mode in Madden, you'd be like, this is the year.
Just give him some money. It's K.
Or, no, I was gonna say like if you have a long term look at it, say I don't need to pay this guy. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get Caleb Williams. I'm trying like this is not right. Like where are they going this season?
Yeah.
There's nothing here for them. I'm not giving him 3 for 33 or something like that. Like why would they do that right now? Why this is a bad team going nowhere. You don't pay running backs. True. Right? Like you don't give him more than Saquon got. Saquon just got the tag, basically, right? So I don't get it. But Josh McDaniels has got to get him back in camp because if he goes with Zamir White, we've heard nothing about him. For nothing.
He didn't get on the field at all last year. I mean, he had any carries at all. Yeah. And
we've heard nothing this offseason at all good about him. Like we're not even hearing it out of the coaching staff. Oh, Zamir looks great.
He's Zamir's fourth on the sleeper depth chart. Yeah.
Like. Right. There's no updates, right? There's no latest news updates, right?
Yeah.
A guy who was a high 4th round draft pick last year and is running with the ones with the starter out on a holdout should be having sleeper updates twice a week about how like, oh, look at this tape.
He's killing it. Yeah.
He's killing it, and he's killing it against air. He's killing it in shorts. Right? None of that.
Like Devon A-Chain right now. Yeah, he's going nuts. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And right. So you hear nothing like that. So I'm very concerned. And I think I think this is a good candidate if they can't come to a deal with Jacobs for them to go spend up for Dalvin Cook.
And that should be I hope some of them sign, man. I want to see some of these running backs sign. They are going to. It's going to shake things up. Keep track of the news, man. Especially when you're doing these redraft leagues that are going to be drafted in the next few weeks. Good luck to everybody in your drafts. You got any of those coming up, brother?
Yeah, mine are both going to be Labor Day weekend, I think. Mm-hmm. I have 2 redrafts, and they're both very, very late in the process.
Yeah.
Which I like, and they're those live shorties.
All right.
So
let's get into this draft board breakdown. So we got the multiple first Dynasty Football League, the League of Record. We got our listener league. We got all kinds of friends, people tuning in, people listening right now, and we got to look at the people who made the cut. We got me and Greg. We got Unexpected for Old Cole World. Take that with you, Mr. Fantasy Nomad, NRed 84, Murdered Leg, Widowmaker 87, Lightly Chilled, Akers, 23, and DeGrosse are the chosen ones to compete with Philosiraptor and Stoshx in this League of Champions here. Yeah, so we did a derby start to this thing, and this was the derby order that was rolled. You and I got picked third and fourth. Love that. I chose the number 6 seat. I wanted to get a slot at the end of this quarterback tier and just kind of see how that played out. I haven't drafted from that position, so I'm curious to see how that looks. And Greg got in the 103. Yeah, man, you made a trade. You traded up there to go get your quarterback pair. Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure. So, well, we are sitting here in the 504 spot on the clock now. I've only made 2 picks.
Yeah.
I picked 103 and 104. I took Jalen Hurts with my natural 103, and I moved up to 104 for Justin Herbert. I think the new contract for Herbert really vault him to me into very elite company. You can see I gave up a lot: 210, 310, 403.
Yeah, I want to talk about the trade a little bit real quick. It's so for our listeners at home who may not be able to see it, it's a 4 for 5 deal. But the meat of it is Greg gives up his 210, 310, and 403. So second, third, and fourth round picks, and he goes up to the 104 and gets an eighth rounder and a 10th rounder back. He gives up his 12th in order to make that whole 3-for-3 swap occur, and then he swaps his future 24 first down with his trade partner's 24 second. This is awesome. This is really good, but it's good for you. It's a really good trade. It's probably the least Cole would accept. I imagine you guys talked about this a good bit.
We did.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I gave up the picks that became Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yep.
Plus a future first. And a 12th rounder. I got Justin Herbert plus 8th and 10th rounders in the startup.
Yeah.
And second rounder. It's hard to value those 8th and 10th and 12th rounders, but I think when you put the names in there, it's good. That's gonna get some real value back on my side.
Absolutely, it will.
Because I know those are 3 big receiver talents to have given up.
Yes.
But I have Hurts and Herbert. Right. And in a point per carry league, Jalen Hurts might be the 101. And I really think that Justin Herbert has enormous ceiling and present. I like Joe Burrow quite a lot. I wanted to get into those top 5. And I didn't think I would be able to get to 105.
You're able to secure a deal. I mean, that's all good. You
so
found
I was able to get the deal. It was a lot, but one of the things I've noticed all off season is that I almost never like the other side of an elite QB trade.
Yeah.
Even when the community likes the package side. I love having gotten the guys I got. And by the time it comes back to me at 210, 2 is already gone. You know what I mean? Like it's real slim pickings at that point.
Yeah, only one quarterback goes in the next 20 picks, so it's Kyler Murray who's going to miss a bunch of time. So yeah, you did a good job just getting your QBs online.
210. I would probably have taken Kyler 210 if I'd stayed there. I was, so that's what I did. What's our next trade?
Next trade is the one I made 2 slots later when I'm at the 106. I trade away Trevor Lawrence, so this is like what you just said, the other side of a elite quarterback trade. I make a more conventional 3-for-1 style deal. I trade away the 106. I get the 206, the 407, and the 24 first round pick. Just a chill little 3-for-1. I like this. I like this because this guy sent it to me. I was 1 pick off the clock, and we made this deal with Take That With You. He knew what he wanted. He wanted to go up there and get it. This is about what I would have asked for. When Cole was shopping his pick around to find the trade partner in Greg that he did earlier when Cole World made that move, I was looking at offers to make similar stuff to go up there and do it. I wanted to get a 2 or elite quarterback start as well. And as I was fishing through things, I knew this is something I definitely would not do. I wasn't going to give my 2-4 and my future 1 straight up as a 3-for-1 package to go do that. So when he offered it to me, it seemed like something I should make as the other side of it. And it felt pretty good, and I'm happy with the players I got. I like this a lot. But you tell me what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. What you ended up getting Dak, ETN, and a future first
Yeah, Lawrence.
for Lawrence. Yeah, I think I like the Lawrence side,
Hmm.
unless but like it depends what you get out of the rest of this. Um, it's very fair. It's very, very
Yeah,
fair.
it's even. Yeah.
Um, it's very, very fair, but like you're rolling into multiple firsts. I think you're trying to um, do some more of that, and you were able to get the 2 quarterbacks at the end of the day.
I thought about going 2 wide receivers though. I mean, it's interesting. Dak. I mean, Dak's kind of a flag plant that you want to be competitive. I don't know. You can make the case that it was maybe a little early. His ADP is a little lower than this right now, but I don't know. I love his attempts and his production, and I think the
I
offense is
love
going to
Dak.
roll. So I don't know.
No, no, no. I
Yeah.
really like Dak. I just no, I really like Dak. I think Etienne's a perfectly fine choice, and you got the first. Like I think you're going to accumulate assets that make up for that. If Trevor steps up, then that will end up having been a very good deal, I think, for Take That With You. And um, but you know that you love Trevor too. But like I
I
think
do. Oh
Dak's
yeah.
going to have a very big season,
Mhm.
and what you were able to do is go Dak and C.J. Stroud, which is like an ability to be competitive and have a long-term look. And click on your 5 picks there, right? Click on
Yeah.
your
You got Olave in the
I like your
third.
5 pick. I think you have a really balanced roster that has the ability to compete now, and so you're going to be competitive with an extra first. I think that's a great place to be in. Let's roll along to the next trade that got made.
Yo, the next trade got made was. Let me bring that up real quick. So this is N Red and Lightly Chilled making a deal later in the first round. This is the This is just trade made for Justin Fields. Lightly Chilled gives up 3 selections: the 412, 612, and 812, along with his future 1 to go up there and to the 110 slot and grab Mr. Fields. He picks like immediately after and goes Christian McCaffrey and Travis Kelce on the turn there. So Fields, Kelce, McCaffrey start for Lightly. I love it. Very competitive.
Yeah, um, I think that might be the best trade of the day, or of the startup so far.
Hmm.
If anything makes me feel like I overpaid to go up and get Herbert, it is that value on the fields,
Oh
on the
yeah.
getting
Hmm.
field side.
Hmm.
So far, that trade has turned into Derrick Henry, and then we got 2 more picks to go for Nred.
Yeah.
Um, and then he's also got the future first, and he got that naked, right? He didn't have to give the second back, so that's a lot of value for him. I just think in a point per carry league, Justin Fields is a very good asset.
Oh, he's
In
gonna be great.
fact,
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields probably should have gone ahead of Chase and Jefferson, even to me, in the point per carry format.
Yeah.
I think maybe Take That What You missed an opportunity to go Lawrence Fields and just set it and forget it forever.
Hmm.
Um, so I think it was a good opportunity for Lightly Chilled, even though he didn't have an elite quarterback draft slot to go up and get one.
Yeah, he did. He made the most out of the situation he's in. I don't really like drafting from the 12 spot like ever, but he goes and gets Fields, which makes everything kind of juice. He grabs
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill at the 3.1, and like he has the upside to get like the number 1 player at all 4 positions. That could totally happen here with these 4 guys, and
Mm-hmm.
I love that for him. This is a good competitive start from a challenging draft position.
I,
Well done.
I, I agree with that
Okay.
completely. Um, Next trade.
Yeah, so we have So Cole World has made several trades. This is one we're going to take a look at here. It was the one he made immediately after Greg. So he sends away his 2.9. Cole World trades down from his 2.9 slot and goes to the 312 and gets a 24 first for making that slide down. He trades with Degros, the 101 picker here, and who did D go up and get? Degros goes up there and trades up to get Tua. He wants to get that second quarterback. He wants to get ahead of you guys up in here to go grab Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah. So that's the kind of trade I love that for Degros. That's the kind of deal you got to make.
Yeah.
With the state of the quarterbacks, and and then he goes and gets Wall and stacks it up.
I like the stack element.
Right there.
I think he could have got more value for his first for that type of move that he made. Like as we look at this deal, this 15-14 swap, I think if you are D on this side, Cole's put himself in a position where he's already traded for a 1, so he's trying to acquire him. And then like the 209 312 swap, okay, but I think you could make this like a swap your 9th round up to the 7th round with Cole if you're the Degros side. You can make this swap up happen higher up the board and get more value out of this. And I highly recommend pursuing that because I think you can get it.
Yeah,
be a little greedier
maybe
there, but I like the spirit of the move to go get Tua, and I think he paid fair to go get it.
Yeah, if you said I gave up Devonta Smith in a first to get Tua in a league where you can't find quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, notice this. How many quarterbacks is that? What is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's the 14th quarterback at pick 21.
Yeah.
Right. And then it goes vacant for a long time after that. So if you're into Tua,
if you're into Tua, yeah.
If you're into Tua,
yeah,
you got to go get. That's where you go get him.
It's true.
And now you got your 2 quarterbacks. And he still ends up with Waddle and Cup at wide receiver.
Yeah, I think part of this too, and I just want to throw this out there for every time you draft him from the 101 slot, guys. We don't get it very often, but anytime you do, especially in Dynasty startup, you're in such an advantageous position. You're so strong, you really are, and you'll feel it immediately off the draft board. This is a 3rd round reversal. It's designed to nerf that a little bit in this draft here. Most of your regular leagues aren't doing that yet, so when you have that 3.1, also you're obscenely powerful relative to the rest of the league. Don't try to overplay that hand because I feel like that's a little bit of what Degros is doing here is trying to convert his advantage even more into like upfront value. I don't know. I think if you sit and pick from the 101 slot, you're going to have an obscenely overpowered team no matter what you do unless you really blow it. So yeah, it's just something to consider when you're up in those first few slots.
Okay.
What else we got? We got another trade here. 5th trade we're going to take a look at is Fantasy Nomad. He trades away his 24 first, really basic 2-for-1 deal, his 24 first and his 10.9 to go into the 303 where he snags Mark Andrews. He trades up from his 10th to the 3rd, gets Andrews. I love this. This is like a home run for him. That's about as max value as you can get moving your future 1 in a startup. I'll tell you right now, guys, if you can move your 10th up to the early 3rd, that's great. That's as much as you can cash your first out for in a reasonable league. You're getting Mark Andrews in a 2 tight end league with a tight end premium. That's awesome return on the trade. Well done.
You can see NRED is now sitting on NRED is now sitting on Anthony Richardson, and he's got 3 future firsts.
Yeah.
So he is executing our multiple first strategy.
Yeah.
With some commitment here. I do love the value on moving up for Andrews. Andrews in a 2 tight end league, 2 tight end premium. I think he's an excellent value here.
This is great. Yeah, you pair it with Pitts, and you're in a really good spot. I mean, you're covered if Pitts kind of flakes a little bit too, and I don't think that's going to happen. But you're really stacked there. And I like what NRED's doing also. I probably would have tried if I'm trading from the early 3rd to get a 1 and just a straight 1 big swap down, which is what I try to advocate to do. I'm probably trying to get an 8th. I think that's my floor to make a deal like that. So he takes a 10th instead. I'll do that sometimes, go a little bit further out, but I don't know. I don't hate it for NRED, but I think it's a great move for Nomad to go up and strike and get Andrews like that. Well done.
Yeah. So let's go so far.
Yeah.
What's your favorite pick so far, Tony?
Yo, so this draft is young. We're only we're 51 players deep in this, but my favorite pick this far is Jahmyr Gibbs at 309. Mr. Enred again grabs him there, and I love that selection. The upside's tremendous. Oops. The youth is just great. Who we usually see go like above Gibbs in rookie drafts is like C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young, right? They're all going right near each other, and you're getting Gibbs like a round and a half later than those guys are drafted. So awesome job making me second guess my Olave selection at the 3.7, and a great pick there. What do you like on the board?
I like your pick there because I think there's a very good case to be made that Jahmyr Gibbs is the running back 2 in Dynasty.
Oh yeah.
With craziness of the running back market right now. So I like your choice. Let's see. My favorite pick so far is Mark Andrews at the 303 in a start 2 tight end premium. He had I not traded out of the 210, I for sure would have taken Mark Andrews there.
Yeah.
Like over the other guys. Like in this format. So I think, you're 6 spots lower than that.
Well, he was on my mind in that pair of picks I made in the second. I mean, it's really good.
That's a really good value for in this. Now it's not a huge premium. It's not like a double, but it's a medium big size. It's half point, 1.5.
Anything you didn't like on the board out there? Is there any reach picks or?
So for me, I can't. I struggle to justify Christian McCaffrey at 112 when you can have Saquon Barkley at 306.
Yeah. Yes.
Or Jonathan Taylor at 308. I know, again, I think you can make a case that Jahmyr Gibbs should go ahead of Christian McCaffrey.
I think you could. I mean, probably most people push back on you with that. That'd be tough, man.
I know, but here's the deal with Christian McCaffrey, right?
Yeah.
If he tears his ACL, his value is now 0 forever.
No, I know, and Gibbs is almost certainly going to grow from this area. So you know for a fact that 12 months from now, Gibbs is going to be above McCaffrey. I mean, you know that. So you just always have to weigh that against whatever their productions are going to be this year.
And there's surely a 30% chance that Gibbs scores more than McCaffrey this year.
There's some amount of it. Yeah, there is.
Right.
It's
so
insane.
To me, that's they should not be. I just picked Gibbs, but like Saquon Barkley, like what is the chances that Saquon Barkley outscores McCaffrey this year?
50-50 probably. I mean,
right. Yeah. And he's 2.5, maybe 40-60, right? But he's 2 rounds later.
I mean, Nick Chubb is 410, and he could be the RB1 this season in
a point per carry. In a point per
carry for sure.
Right. Running backs in this format are only getting half PPR.
Yeah.
But they're getting 0.2 PPC.
Yes.
Right. So I struggle with the value of McCaffrey. I love what Lightly Chilled has done, and I see the strike while the iron is hot bit here, but I struggle with that pick.
Yep. For me, pick I'm gonna say was a little early for my taste is Derrick Henry here at the 412. I'm gonna go back to Enred. I've been give him a compliment, and now I'm gonna give him a rip. Little combo there. I probably take like Pollard or Walker over Henry. Pretty much. I don't know about Walker, but Pollard for sure. Pretty much every time. Maybe I just try to move up a slot and get Harris, or move up. He already got Chubb, but.
Josh Jacobs still on the board.
Jacobs still on the board. Yeah, I get so scared about these contract situations. Maybe I'm just a wussy, but yeah, Henry's a little early for me there. I think you can wait on him and pick him up in like the 6th round if you want to grab him. We got these pair of 6s. I bet he would have wheeled around this whole board back to you, Mr. Red. I mean, there's a fair chance that would have happened. A good chance, I think. So Henry's a pick I don't like because of the age and the damage and everything, but he's Derrick Henry, so. He has the ability to carry your team to a title any year.
Yeah, I mean, could he be that guy, the next Adrian Peterson, who is throwing up an RB1 season at 32?
He totally could.
He has,
so few guys could do that.
There's people running backs, and then there's like this handful of mutants.
Is McCaffrey going to do that in 5 years? Probably. There's no way.
No,
You hate to say no way, but I mean, no way. I don't
I
think so.
just, it's so hard for these
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, it's so hard on these guys. Um, so there, yeah, that's good. That's
Yo, it's been a great draft. I'm coming up here in a few slots. We'll have that with you on our next video.
oh,
Thank
you're
you
my
so much
third
for,
pick for me.
yeah, Greg's coming up with his first non-quarterback selection. He'll probably take a QB anyway because he's a madman. Um, he's going to take Kirk Cousins. I know it.
I mean, don't make me,
You're
guys.
taking Jordan Love. You love Jordan Love. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, friends. We appreciate you spending your time here. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us who you thought was a reach. Tell us who you thought was a great value. What do you think of our trades? All that goodness. We appreciate hearing from the community. Have a good night, everyone.